And I'm going to hit you with some real talk here. Always give credit and thanks to the Creator, right? So if someone made you a really good meal, homemade, if you then gave that meal to someone else, you wouldn't take the credit for making that if you didn't make it, right? So the person that made it would get the credit. And I know this message might be all over the place or whatever, but my point here is that God created us, right? So every good gift comes from above. So every good quality we have, every successful moment we have, all these good things should always be credited to the Lord, in my opinion. See, when we try to take the accountability or we try to take the credit for the things that God has done for us, for the gifts that He's given us, that's when He can pull that grace and mercy right from underneath us. You know, when we try to take ownership of the things that God has done. Now, I say that to say this. Sometimes we have these funks where we just don't know what's wrong or why we're feeling irritable or whatnot. Sometimes things don't go our way. And the one thing in life that we can control is how we react and how we respond to things and how we handle things. When I started this ride, I was feeling very just irritable and frustrated, stressed, anxious, all these things, right? And so I've been praying since I was feeling those things. And this whole ride in, and I'm running a little bit behind, but the traffic's been horrendous. 10 miles under almost the whole way, under the speed limit. But yet I feel this peace come over me suddenly and this comfort from the Lord. And it was moments after I was praying for that. And so I just want to encourage you that, yes, there are going to be things in life that happen that we cannot control. But if we know who is in control, then we know that everything's going to be all right. I really don't know how people live without Jesus. You know, I feel like He is our only hope in this life. And there's situations, the ones that we can't control, that we must trust in Him and rely on Him to gain our strength, to gain our patience, to bring us joy when we're feeling down. God is love. God is strength. He created mankind in His image. So why wouldn't we trust in Him, right? Who's in control of our ship? Who is driving us, right? And it makes me think of the story with the disciples and Jesus on the boat when Jesus was asleep and it started to get wavy and the storms were coming through and they were all panicking and they woke Jesus up and He had to remind them, you know, oh, ye of little faith, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing, but, you know, He had to remind them that, do you have no faith of who's in control of this ship? So much like in our lives, when things are messy around us and situations are tough to go through, we know we cannot get through that alone, and we must rely on Jesus to guide us through those situations. We simply need to know that if Jesus is in control, then everything is always going to be all right. So please trust in Jesus and know that everything is going to be all right, and this too shall pass.